Hello. Goodbye. Hello. Just trying out my new camera. Much better. Who do we have watching then? yeah, now I've got the chat. Hello FM. Yeah, cheers mate, this is my African African Tetris tank. Just trying out my camera. Hello Homer, the clown trigger. Homer, I'm the clown trigger. Oh, Homer, the clown trigger. Just doing a short one just to test out my new camera. Hello. Oh, does it look? When it's when you zoom in on my other one, when you zoom in, it goes all pixelated. I mean, look at that. Look at that. The Samsung S24. I'm quite impressed. Keith's in the house. Connection problem, yeah. It's can't be mine because I've just done a booster. I've got speeds of 505 megabytes download and upload 350. Well, it was a phone upgrade. FM, so I was like, do you know what? I ain't had one for about 4 years, so I was like, I'm gonna get one. I can see the connection issue now. A little bit of lagging every now and again, dropping off. Seems to be when you zoom in, but if you go out, see how that does. Yeah, it's weird. It seems to lag when you like go close to a tank. Strange. But yeah, I'm impressed with the camera on the S24. Very impressed. Now I've got my other phone hooked up so I can see the chat on both screens as well as my TV, so I can't be ignorant. Can't be ignorant when I've only got 3 people watching. So has anybody got anything new? or anything new coming? Yeah, it really is. It is, Keith. It's really good. I had it flipped to the face side, and I was like, whoa, my face looks real fresh. Obviously, it does something to your face. It made me look about 10 years younger. What tanks that you've got? You would like some of my tanks. My low boys to do a Dutch style skate. My tanks have an Opti White front. Couldn't afford the Opti White all the way around, so I just went for the front. I filled my 460 and waiting for the salt to just, oh, the weight. I've had marine, I've done marine. Yeah, I went down the marine route. Waiting for the salt to dissolve. It's almost as bad as waiting for the salt to dissolve when you've got Sulawesi shrimp and you get the shrimp salt. The only way you can truly dissolve it is by using CO2 to boost it to 8.2 pH. Keith, it's a shame you're not local, Keith, because I'd just give 255s away. And I've got a 55 going spare. You should always venture into marine. You can learn a lot from marine. Keith will agree with me on that one. Marine teaches you all sorts. Trying to breed seahorses? Whoa. No worries, Marie. Hi and bye. The tank I had custom made was designed for seahorses, but I ended up getting periclonfish. Yeah, you don't really need filter media. Is it essential? Not really. Your media is all your decor. That's where everyone must be doing Jack's quiz, whatever that is. The camera's quite far back as well from the tank. I've actually zoomed in. The missus has officially moved all the stuff out of our office, so it's now going to be my very own shrimp. Hey. Fish room. Can't be a fish room. I had the lost one about fish room. I have the joys of falling to sleep looking at this tank. People ask me what always comes to me. How do you sleep with a noise? Very easily is my reply. Very easily. Makes sense, that cave. Shrimp quite forgiving when it comes to temps as well, high or low. So you shed wise, it would be a good move. At least you can regulate your tanks in your house more better with your house being properly insulated. Message retracted. So what about? But yeah, every man should have a fish room, or woman, or the in between. I can't quite remember what I used to do when I didn't have fish. Probably keep reptiles. That was another thing I used to be into. Again, which started in 1996. That. But fish is my real passion. And now I've started venturing into live plants and aquascaping and what benefits plants bring to a tank and whatnot. And I'm actually learning an awful lot from you guys. My crypts melt in the summer because my fish room, because of the heat. Yeah, because I don't tolerate too high temps. I had some crypts in a ram tank, and that was at 28 Celsius, and they didn't even like it at that. It's the thing with when you've got a shed. I was looking at sheds to do my shrimp run outside in my backyard. Don't have a big garden, but the cost of insulating it properly and then getting it up to a standard so it's not going to get too hot, not too cold, was just ridiculous. Because I priced it up. If I was going to do something, I wanted to do it right the first time. I like to plan out. That's the autistic side of me. I'm a planner. Evaporation cooling. Interesting. I was thinking of getting axolotls at some point, so I'll need to get a cooler because my room in the peak of summer can run up to 28 Celsius, which is no good. Plus I want to keep some non-tropical snakehead channa, the cooler species. Well, that's my dream fish anyways. Oh, I have them. They don't do much. I personally found it doesn't do much. I have one on in my tortoise enclosure, blowing on the cold area. So when my tortoise gets too warm, she can go to the cool side, which I have a misting system on as well. And a water bowl's drip fed, so it's constantly being replenished. My animals get a trip better than I do. But I wouldn't change it for the world. So what's everyone's dream fish? If you could have just one fish in a tank, or several fish of the same fish in a tank, what would it be? Big tank, 1400 litres. Big tank. I don't mind a big tank, but he's trying to convince the other half. Trying to convince the wife. An Achilles tank. You better get selling your kidneys, Keith. Oh, it's a rack system. Nice. I use racks myself as well. Oh, you're running through a subcut, yeah. Now that makes sense. I looked into having my bottom ones run as sumps, but all my tanks are air driven from one air system. Actually now two, because one air pump wasn't sufficient for 35 sponge filters, so I invested in another one. It's just a booster. So all my tanks filters, barring three tanks are run off sponge filters or sponge filtration. Matten, style. I do like my Matten sponge filters. Nice clean tidy tank look. When it comes to filtration, Germans just know. I'd love to go over to Germany at some point and visit some of the shops there. They're more stores than shops. Leafy sea dragons are one freaky, funky looking creature. I'm not overly up on marine, but I do know certain aspects and fish species. If I look through a book, I could probably ID 30% maybe. The rest I'd be flying blind. Oh, you work in a local fish shop in Austria? Is it very much set up like Germany and Austria then? Because the shops they have over there are just so much more. So much more. Beautiful country as well, Austria. Closest I've got to Austria is flying over it. I'd love to do a little European tour of all the different countries and just how they do things, because I'm really intrigued to how others do things basically, because you can learn a lot, not necessarily from the shops but from the private hobbyist breeders and all the trade secrets. Tanks, nice. I did work in an exotic store in 2011 to 2013. They had fish as well, but I wasn't overly into fish back then. Even though I had fish and kept fish since 1994, I was like, leave the fish to the fish people, keep the reptiles to me. But I knew all there was to know about fish. How to cycle the tank properly, the nitrogen cycle. Yeah, definitely, Keith. Definitely. Because I don't venture out much because I'm a bit of a hermit. I stay home a lot. But I get like that when I go in Daniel's shrimp farm. My knowledge just goes out the window because all I know I've learned from him. A few little trade secrets of what he does and stuff, which he doesn't tell many people, so I was quite privileged. But I learnt a lot off Daniel. A lot. Especially when it comes to selecting what to look for and stuff, patternage, what makes it a fishbone, what makes it a galaxy, what spots make it a pinto, double-edged spotted gem, pinto, blah de blah. Backdoor breeders, mate, they know that we've been doing it since we could fill a tank, really, haven't we? Of some form. It's surprising when you look back and you think, what have I actually learnt in it? Especially when you go and fish shopping and you're looking at fish and you're like, oh, that's a so-and-so, so-and-so. Oh, that's a nice plant, that's a so-and-so, so-and-so. And you're like, oh my God. I call it absorbing because that's what I do. I absorb stuff. Reading is not my strong point, but I'll always read fishy stuff. Always. Because you can never know enough. Let's see. You know what, Keith? You do, but do you know at the same time I'm still learning them because shrimp genetics are a big, 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 big can of worms, and there's a lot of misinformation out there, especially on some of the charts, because 3 or 4 of the shrimps don't even exist, or if they do, I've never seen them. But once you've done one shrimp and you see the outcome, you kind of get the gist, if that makes sense. It's like I bred tangerine tigers with crystal blacks, and I've got some tangerine tigers mixed with like a shadow effect of the crystal black. So it's like took on the, but to me they look rubbish. So could do with making a new calendar, not calendar, shrimp genetics. It takes some doing. But then the downside to that is good luck trying to get all the breeders together to do it, because they've all got their own lands, and yeah, goes over to politics. I hyper-focus on a lot of stuff. Being autistic, I get when I get myself into something, as you show, I'm addicted to, as you know, I'm addicted to spending. But I spend it on fish stuff, or to benefit me towards the fish. I ain't bought clothes for ages. Not that I need them. Rather buy another brand of fish food. I like having a variety. I took myself for wall sleep in a few weeks. That's what I mean. If you get deep into it, and you do nothing else, but you find yourself in bed scrolling through your phone, reading stuff on Wallstead and the old method and what's not, it's easy done. I'm like that with some things. I was like that with shrimp at first, but regarding shrimp, I'd have right in like a silly sod, and what I needed to learn first was arrow and what arrow water's about, and then the remineralisation of it and doing it all right and getting your water up to TDS correct and blah de blah. It's been a big learning curve. It really has. with shrimp you're learning a lot more. I find you're learning a lot more new stuff regarding shrimp than you do in the fish hobby. Because so little is really known. I mean, there was shrimp popping up in 2012, but when it comes to having information for them Neocaridina, aka cherry shrimp as they all called them back then, was non-existent. Or if it was existent, it was in German. Micro line. Like it. So it is. Now I just thought I'd pop on, give my camera, you get a lot of glare back off this. I'm just thinking what it's on. And I've just realised it's because the light's high up. See what it's like zooming in a bit more. It's not as bad as my last one, it's still a little bit grainy, but a bit better. It's almost like YouTube downgrade your quality. I know I have it set to the highest quality, but you can't go any higher. Getting you, this zoom is really sensitive. As you can see, my tanks there at the sides are all painted. The reason for that being is the light comes in, you get real bad algae, so I painted all that side of the tanks. Made sense really, and lo and behold, they always breed in that corner. You will eventually. I mean, you've got to, like anything, Keith, you've got to invest. You sometimes have to take a loss. I mean, you ask Glenn, the amount I've given away just to gain a reputation, I won't even like to add it all up. I've gifted people shrimp for the simple reason, it's nice to be nice, and favour for a favour, innit? I mean, then the 18 Blue Dream shrimp I got them given because he turned around to me and said, because of all of that advice I've given him over the last few years, I won't have the shrimp he's got now if it won't throw me and Glenn. So he gifted me some shrimp. Hello, John. Good evening, sir. Just trying out my new phone camera. Hello, Shane. What I need to do is find a rack of second-hand tanks. It's all good and cheap buying second-hand tanks, but you don't know how good the seals are on them unless you run a new seal on them. I mean, I've bought second-hand before and I came down to a flood, and then I bought a flue valve flex that cracked across the front, second hand. So I got all my 35 litre tanks from Clear Seal from a garden centre that was on clearance, £19 each, so I bought 8. Anybody want any ferry cichlids? I've got a lot. They're everywhere. And there's new babies at the back there. And there's new babies intermingled with them as well. And then down at the bottom tank I've got another tank of them. While you're in the process of moving, Shane, one thing I absolutely hate is moving. I've moved many a time. Many a time. my god, this sensitive this is. Sorry guys. I will get there in the end. This is my favourite tank, apart from my rainbow tank. Some plants aren't done so good. Some plants have done better than others. Anyone what says Lymphocelia sessiflora is hard plant needs to get a life. It's the easiest plant to grow. Oh, you are. Good luck. I hope it's one of the most stressful things, you know, in life. When we was kids, my mum and my dad was in the army, so we moved often. But not just house, country. Lived all over as a baby. Or did you order them rug tabs? Man crept out first. Ah. They're the same ingredients as API rug tabs and you get 80. Right, yeah, that's exactly what I am, Keith. It's what was known as kids. Wherever my dad went, and we had to go. I mean, I was born in Osnabrück, in a British military hospital. Then we lived in Paderborn. Then we moved to Hong Kong, back to England, from England to Canada, Canada back to England, England to Cyprus. Not that I remember it. Yeah, they are, but that's what I mean, Keith. The API is just micronutrients, which is exactly what the swell are, and you get 80 for the price of 10. And they do work because I've done one tank with them and one tank without them, and the tank without them is what you're looking at now on the plants at the back. I've just not done nothing, but the ones in my rainbow fish, I've trimmed them 5 times. Identical light as well, same water parameters, same pH. Let's take you over to a shrimp tank. I'll pop some shrimp food in and let's see what the camera looks like this time with the shrimp. Oh, I need to take that up. That's better. Get right there. Check, check, check. Oh, that's miles better. Just bear with me, guys. Very sensitive, this touching zone. Let me get some food. That's miles better. Is that coming across alright? Yeah. Added first when I planted I did one tab per plant, and then the second tank I pushed them and mixed them with an underlayer in my active soil. 50 litre clay seal tanks. I don't know if they do a 50 litre, I think they're 45 maybe. If you want a bang for your buck, the best shrimp tanks you can personally get, and are worth the money, even though they're not cheap but not overly expensive, are the silkfish scaper tanks, Steve. And they're in not too high, and you get everything with it. You don't need to use the filters, you use a sponge filter, but you've got spare filters always with them and the light. Orange drain. No, these are Caridina, not Neo Caridina. These are. I'll zoom in a second. I'm just going to add some food for them. And then you can see the shrimp. You can see how many shrimp. These are a caridina. These are bloodshot caridina. They're a hybrid. They're a cross between the tangerine target caridina and red wild type caridina. Perfect starter shrimp if you want going over into caridina as well. Right, the food's landed. Oh god. That's still grainy. There we go, that's a bit better. Shouldn't really be feeding them because they've got more than enough food. Bad sheep, bad wife. Yeah, it's heavy down. I look near it, so I look near it down. We'll go into tap water with soil. Good question. Short answer is yes. As long as your tap water's as soft as it is. You can see the red tiger influence in these where the little red stripes just showing through. If you just hang fire, there will loads more will come. In fact, where's my little stick? Every shrimp keeper should have a little shrimp stick, a stainless steel rod, so you can get food into the picture without putting your hands into the tank. Like that. Move that out of the way. There we go. GH, 3 KH. Well, for a start, the KH will be stripped out from the active soil, so you'll probably be running on 1 KH, and then eventually it'll have no KH, because an active soil covers the KH, not the GH. So you'll have like 7 GH, and eventually no KH. This is the only thing. If that makes sense to you anyways. Yeah, active soils, as well as buffering the pH. Again, you're going to have an issue unless you get an active soil what gives around 6.5, which you can get for a Tropica, for instance. But Tropica soil, for instance, is cheap and available, but it will buffer the pH over water. Red and white shrimp will probably be crystal reds, Chin, which are, I'll show you now, I'll show you a poster. Show you a poster. Like them. Well, actually, like them. These are all the different, that one shrimp produces all that. Crystals. These are all former crystals. Either pure white line or technically a crystal because they're related. Whee! Certainly better quality. Tybee, yeah. Taiwanese. Yeah, yeah, they were a good price. How much was they? If you don't mind me asking. I've never bought a shrimp from a shop. Only for the simple reason I now know all the breeders there is to know. Oh, the other poster, yeah. The red and white, yeah. Yeah. Cabbage, yeah. Correct. You need some posters, please. You learn loads from them. You don't even need to read them. Just by looking at them, you can like, I can say what shrimp they are on there. What grades and whatnot. Less than £5 rich, that's good because usually they're about £8 each in shop. Whereas private sales, I probably pay £2-3. Yeah, about £2-3 I pay. If it's a higher grade crystal red, which is Hinamura, Hinamura is the Japanese flag, so if it's got the red spot in the middle, they're my higher price. Then you've got the no entry, which is the Hinamura with the white stripe through it, like the no entry sign. Again, which fetches a higher price. Just look for in the box you all the posters. That's nice of you. I hate to pay for that. I'll send it back to them. That's the thing. If anybody's willing to come up, I know they're really well to the wall, but I've got a spare arrow system with a double resin chamber. Because I upgraded mine, so I don't use my old one. Still fully works. You can have it if anyone wants it. As you know, it's like the machine tool. Nice to get back to the hobby. Can everybody hear me alright? I'll put some food in the tanks and then I'll show some other shrimp. My mixed tank's got some nice funky shrimp in it. So you do with setting up a carabiner tank then, Shade. You won't set just one up. Because you get so many varieties from shrimp, because most of them don't breed true. You need second and third tank just to select these, just for selection. Otherwise you end up mixing up all the good with the bad, if that makes sense. If you want to produce Hinamura crystal reds, you keep all them aside in another tank. If you want to produce no entry crystal reds, you keep all them aside in another tank. Then they breed true. With shrimp, it's all about holding back generations and a lot of patience. I mean, the 6 boas that I got, which I paid a hefty price for, which is not as much as I should go for. I'm not going to get till about 4th generation 4, I'm not going to start producing boas equivalent to the parents. The first lot will be galaxies, blue bolts, so all them I'll need to get rid of, but what I do, I'll put all them, I'll either sell the galaxies cheap, or put them in a mixed tank. And having a mixed tank's nice because you get shrimp of all. There's a tiger. That's a tiger pinto. Galaxy tiger that though, not a fancy tiger. And can you see them there? They're tangerine tigers crossed with galaxy. That one with the white on his back, crystal. You can see them there. TTVs. That there, what's in the middle of the screen, that dull looking thing with the white on the back, that's a crystal black cross tangerine tiger. You can see the crystal black underneath it. It was probably the father. But as you can see, I have a bit of everything in this tank, and there's a lot of babies in it. Some funky looking babies. There's a nice pincer. Red pincer. PWL, pure white line. Galaxy black. There's a spotted head pinto in there. There they all come. The shrimp, more colours are coming. This big old blue boy. Leonard loved that shrimp because it's blue. It's a deep blue bowl. So in my mixed tank I have some iron shrimp. So even though I sell these at £3 each, people get a good deal. I mean, that tiger pinto there, that one, that's a £50 shrimp, that, and it's a nice grade one as well, and it's in my mix tank. But I went down a different direction. There's a low grade boa, red boa. If you're going to go for shrimp, Carradina, start with something like this, because you learn so much from it. So much. I mean, I'm now setting up another, just because I got them boas, I'll need to set up another 3 tanks for all the, what they give off, basically, galaxies. Boas don't breed, just boas. There's some more come along with the other food. Is the picture quality still okay? It was my, don't tell my shrimp cage, but it was my favourite shrimp. Then I found boas. I just love my boas. Shame, I'm hoping to have to put plans for the shrimp have their own little area. Shrimp corner. You look at the mix in that. How can you not like a mixed tank? Look at that. Cheers, John. Bit of everything in there, John. Literally. But I've just got some nice boas off Daniel. I've got a group of 6. See what I mean, guys? If you knew people like John Keith, you just give away 100 culls. Culls are a great place to start with. I wish I had people like that when I began. Everybody wants culls. Culls are popular. My best selling tank is my mixed tank. I'd rather sell someone a load of mixed shrimp knowing they're not going to make it long term. But in my mixed tank, look at that blue bottle, look how deep blue it is. Not that blue steel. John always has calls, Shane. John. Well, I wouldn't know you'd contact him. Because I don't believe, John, I don't believe you use Facebook either, do you? Or do you use the app, the Band app? Band, is it? She's got eggs there. She's pregnant. Yeah, as I said, John, I wish when I got into shrimp years ago, I wish there was culls available then, because I'd have saved myself, let's just say, I'd have saved myself £665, because I went in big, didn't I, like a silly sausage. I was a definitely next level cave. What was a like prize koi? Research, research, research is all I'll say. But once you've started and once you learn how to remineralise waters and stuff like that, it's RO water, blah blah blah. Pretty easy. What's that saying you'll do, John? Set and forget. Set the tank up and forget. The good thing is here now, starting from scratch, you've got people what can help. There isn't really anybody in the hobby, apart from a certain place, who only wanted sales, not help. But yeah. You can't go wrong with some of these shrimp. Some of these shrimp you could actually take out and start a new colony. For instance, you could take that tiger, there's a fancy tiger there, but you could get that fancy tiger back. You can buy low grade and create high grade. You just got to be patient. I have done keef, yeah, I've done some, but I don't personally name them because 99% of shrimp at the moment have already got names. Oh yeah, John, I forgot you use spotless water. You don't do your own RO water, do you? If you don't need to when it works, you don't. It's what works best for you, isn't it? Shrimp always love a heavy downer. Here's a boa. Nice metallic blue. Where's that one gone? One there. Orange base. Orange, another blue boa. And then the orange and blue. It's easy for me, I can collect 100 litres in 10 minutes, yes. True. You certainly get value for money as well. Everyone must have shrimp though. You've got to have caridina. Once you get caridina, near caridina, aka cherry shrimp, become surplus. You'll see what I mean. You don't understand what, for the simple reason, because they're not the easiest to keep. And you'd be surprised how many people set up in correct or set up in soft water like you, and then think they're it, put shrimp in, and then they're living for several months, and then asking you why they're not breeding, why they're dying. I've seen it 1,000 times. People want to buy into shrimp, want to get into shrimp, make profit. There's money to be made, but it's not constant. And when it comes to big shrimp, there's not the people to buy the big shrimp. Not yet, anyway. But you don't need to start with mixed, you could start with whatever you wanted, as long as you do it right. There's not to say, but it's getting it right the first time, which I'm sure you pretty much would, because you've got a PhD in fucking brain in it. Water. Full Valstratum. I personally don't rate it. I've used it. I didn't get long from it. But yeah, you can start, Keith, as long as you've got that tank spot on. There's no to say you can't start with whatever you want. But to learn a lot from shrimp, it's always good to start with something cheap, is basically what I mean. There's better soils in Floval. Floval's just that little bit cheaper, but there's some soils you can pay a little bit more and get an extra year's soil, because the soils, majority of soils last for around 18 months to 2 years, and then you'll need to reset it. Same as starting the tank with textures. But for instance, Keith, there is shrimp I could send you out of here, and you could start that line basically. If you took the Galaxy Tiger Pintos and two, you'd only need to start with two, as long as they're male and female. And that's that one there, that one there, and that one there. And you could start Galaxy Tiger Pintos. Yeah, I've tried them. I've tried UGFs, but I like the old. I'm either a matte and sponge filter or a double sponge filter kind of guy. I've got UGFs set up now already, like, but just I don't find the ease of cleaning them out easy at all when compared to like a sponge. What all you need to do is squeeze. The good thing about a UGF is the water going through it is always buffered, so you get a nice steady pH, more stable pH. It's a case of what works for you, isn't it? I mean, like myself, John, I'm sure you've tried UGFs. I've got all different kinds of filtration, but you just can't beat a double sponge or matte. Double sponge because it's ease of access. It's just so easy to whip a sponge off, jug the tank water, a couple of squeezes, pop it back on, job done. Yeah, because I had the same thing with ADA. I found it very, you get a lot of powder residue off ADA, as good as it is, and all of it goes through into the mesh, and that literally sticks into the hose from the Ista on the gravel plate. Exactly what happened to mine. But then I tried it with master soil. I don't like master soil anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong, Keith, the wet eggs, they're just... I don't enjoy cleaning them or resetting them over a sponge with a thin layer on the bottom of your tank of soil, which is easy to just siphon straight out and replace with new, as long as it's a non-leaching ammonia. But then again, ammonia in certain ones is safe at low level pH anyway, so swings and roundabouts when it comes to filtration. It's one big subject because there's so many filters that work, and then you've got your filtration that don't work. One topic I do like talking about is filtration. Again, because I've tried them all. And the one that outshines any, but is one of the most awkwardest to clean, is the mat and wall sponge filter. Just the mold what it collects is unreal. It keeps all that mold off the water. But then you've got to get that mold. Yeah, you can say something if you've got media behind there, then you've got to take the sponge out to give it a good squeeze in some tank water. It's a pain. I personally would recommend double sponge filters. Ease of access. Yes, solid, but pain in the ass to clean. And then you can never set them quite look back. They don't ever sit right, nice and tight and snug like your first when you do make the first one. How could anyone not want shrimp? Look at them. I love shrimp. Once you've kept carried in and you learn your lessons and what not to do, and like John says, set and forget, which is no true word spoken. I mean, you can go a week, you can go 2 weeks and not feed that, but as long as that's an aged tank, well cycled aged tank, there's plenty of food source for them to scavenge anyways, night and day. I mean, I got them boas, I've only fed them once, I've had them a week. And then after 2 hours I take the food out, always. When I went away that weekend, all I was bothered about was my fish and my shrimp, because I know the shrimp was fine. I just threw a leaf in there and that was it. Around 2 hours. Depends. It's a good question really, Keith, because if that tank as well, depending on how many shrimp are on there. I mean, what you can see on that now, even I put 2 pellets in, that was a lot. But then 2 pellets will be gone within 2 hours. But if it was just 6 shrimp, after 2 hours I'd take the pellet out, always remove the food, and then I'll throw any uneaten food. It's not pleco, the plecos eat it as well, or any bottom algae eaters tend to eat shrimp pellet left over as well. I used to keep snow white plecos in each tank, but the snow white plecos was keeping the tank too clean. And the shrimp was suffering for the simple fact there wasn't enough algae to graze on. Again, an experiment I did, but it didn't work. If you want a clean tank, just keep one pleco in there and you're fine. But to answer your question, dependent on how many shrimp, 10 shrimp, probably put half a pellet, but if you've got a small pellet in with a few shrimp, you'll always get one big ass shrimp what will run off with the food, and the other shrimp don't tend to get it, so I always put a large size pellet in. I like the bigger pellet food for that reason. Then you're in control of the size of the pellet you're given. Right guys, I'm going to put this off now and go find something to watch. So thank you for chatting, it's been a pleasure. I hope to catch you again soon. And I've got my more shrimp tanks set up again. I'm coming back to more shrimps. Well, I'm not getting more shrimp, but I need more tanks for what shrimp come off. said shrimp. And just feel thanks for a few of them. Cheers for watching. Cheers for talking. I'll catch you all soon. Take care, guys.